2, coach under fire, the racist comment that cost him his job, and what the school has to say about it.
Treating the whole patient, the new technique that gives breast cancer patients something back that many haven't thought about. What to buy in October, from clothing to clearance grills and patio furniture, and a new Amazon Prime Day. Where to save money now.
This could actually be my last game.
Season over. Jim Donovan with a look at whether Francisco Lindor may have just played his last game as a Cleveland Indian. And it's Throwdown Thursday. You can play at home as Betsy and I put our knowledge to the test on all things October. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
I don't know, you were supposed to win the last Throwdown Thursday.
I was supposed to, yeah.
But I let you lose again.
You did.
So.
You let me answer my way right into the loss. Hello again, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I take these things really hard, Bets.
I know.
This has been a seriously rough Thursday for many of us after the Indian season came to a sudden stop with last night's gut-wrenching loss. Feels like we're stuck in this bad movie and we can't get out. We're going to be talking with Jim Donovan about the loss and the future for this team, which right now is very much up in the air. Alongside Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. So good to be with you again.
Thank you. Great to be with you, Jay, and all of you at home. We have a lot of news to get to today, of course, not all related to the Indians. But we do want to focus on one story locally in particular that's getting some attention. An assistant high school football coach is off the job after making what's being called an inappropriate joke to a player during practice. Tiffany Tarpley reports from Nordonia High School in Macedonia.
And that assistant football coach has now resigned from his position. You can see practice going on right here behind me at the high school. The superintendent stating in a letter that there is no place for racism in this school district. Also in that letter, the superintendent describes what happened. An assistant coach who was working with the offense called for a new quarterback. A black player who does not play that position jokingly said, "I'll play quarterback." That assistant coach then said, "I asked for a quarterback, not a quarter black." I spoke with the superintendent, Joe Clark, who says the boy called his parents. His parents then showed up at the stadium and spoke with the athletic director.
I think it's really important for people to know that white people who are in positions of power have a moral obligation to do all they can do to create safe, equitable, and inclusive environments for people of color. Really, it's a matter of us, coming together to let folks know that joking this way is never appropriate and it just won't be tolerated.
Superintendent Clark says the coach has been with the Nordonia team for 8 years. I reached out to the assistant coach, Greg Poulin, and he sent a statement about this incident, apologizing and saying in part that he is embarrassed, ashamed, and upset by his own actions. Poulin also says he will use it as a learning experience and do better. That former assistant football coach here at Nordonia is also a teacher in another school district. The superintendent tells me that they are also speaking with other people who may have overheard the situation, heard what was said, and didn't report it. He calls this a learning experience. In Macedonia, Tiffany Tarpley, 3 News.
Tiffany, thank you very much. Now on to your feed at 5, and we're seeing another rise in coronavirus cases here in Ohio, and one number in particular is especially disturbing, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But first, our new cases saw a big jump, 1,327 new cases today. That's an increase of more than 300 from yesterday, and also it's more than 300 above our 21-day average. But the really troubling number is the positivity rate. We have stressed this number from the very beginning of the pandemic. This is the number of people per 100 tests that test positive. And we had been in the high 2s. We're now up to 4%. And hospitalizations also take a jump. 11 more patients in Ohio hospitals suffering from COVID-19 today than yesterday. Deaths down, though. 13 deaths reported today. That is down from 21. It's also below our 21-day rolling average of 22. Now, while COVID-19 cases in Ohio certainly haven't reached the peaks of May or even July, they have been starting to tick back up a bit. Today, during his press briefing, Governor DeWine announced yet another Northeast Ohio county that is at a high risk level when it comes to exposure as well as spread. Laura Queso is here now with more from the governor. Hello, Laura.
Hi, Jay. Yeah, that's Richland County. It now has joined Ashland County at level 3, indicating very high exposure and spread. Richland County, however, is now on a watch list for the peak level 4 after meeting 6 of the department's 7 indicators. That means significant exposure, a place, of course, they do not want to be. Also today, the governor talked about the presidential debate, of course, right here in Cleveland. You know, the one we can't stop talking about? Yeah, that one. Now, remember, Governor DeWine said yesterday he was impressed by President Trump's performance, saying he did a great job against Joe Biden. The governor has already made it clear that he supports President Trump. Well, just a few hours ago, DeWine had this to say about Joe Biden and the debate itself.
I've known Joe Biden for many years, having served in the United States Senate with him. While many times we may have disagreed on policy issues, I know that he too wants what is best for this country of ours. The name calling by both candidates is simply not helpful. The name calling by both candidates is not productive.
Now, the governor also talked about the outcome of the election, saying however riled up people get, however partisan it gets, however emotional it gets, when those results are in, people will accept it. He said, and I quote, Jay, "We might not like it, but we're Americans, we accept it." So the governor today speaking about the debate, and again, he did throw his support behind President Trump, Jay.
All right, Laura Queso, live from the newsroom. Laura, we'll see you in a little bit.
Sure.
Well, it is October 1st, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We start with a story about a medical breakthrough, and it's related to a side effect of mastectomies that we don't often hear about. Women who have mastectomies generally lose feeling in their chest area due to nerves being cut during surgery, and that means not being able to feel something like a hug or a child falling asleep on your chest. Now, a new surgical procedure called resensation can actually reconnect those nerves. One doctor who performs this procedure talked to NBC's Kristen Dahlgren today. She is a breast cancer patient herself.
Some patients say they feel pretty much full sensation.
Now, you're scheduled to do my surgery, so we've had these frank discussions. Sure. Does this work for everyone?
The short answer is no. I don't think it works for every single person. From my perspective, I feel like I'd like to at least try to restore sensation for people, because when it works well on people, it works quite well.
And mad props to Kristen for taking everybody through her journey. What an incredible woman she is. Well, like everything with breast cancer, this is a very individual decision. So while it isn't for everyone, it is nice to know such advances are happening. But as we know, there's a lot of effort that goes into diagnosing and stopping the disease. And that's the most important reason October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And especially now during a pandemic. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins explains why talking about it and not missing those screenings is so critical, especially now.
Hey everyone, according to the Centers for Disease Control, other than skin cancer, breast cancer is the most common cause of cancer in women, no matter your race or ethnicity. In fact, 1 in 10 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer under the age of 45. Now, Renee Bonner, she was diagnosed in 1990, and for 30 years, she's been encouraging her friends and family to know their risk and get checked, because early detection is key.
I just put it out there to everyone that would ask, because I felt it made me feel better talking about it. And so I didn't keep it all in, and I felt like it would be hazardous to my health if I did that. So I just talked.
I've personally seen several patients who maybe had a breast mass that they felt back in February, and then they delayed things. And now it's October now, and their tumors have grown over that time, and they have more advanced stage than otherwise would have happened. So I think that's really important.
So while death rates have been declining, Dr. Montero is concerned that as the population ages, we'll see another rise in cancer cases and potentially death cases. He also adds that access is key among minority women. So all you need to do is contact your local health system or doctor and find out where you can get a mammogram for free or at least low cost. Monica Robbins, 3 News.
All right, Monica, thank you very much. Right now, it is 8 minutes past the top of the hour. Time to get a check of other headlines making news, and for that, we say hello to Russ Mitchell. How you doing, Russ?
Hi, Jay. I'm well. Hello, Betsy. Good afternoon, everyone. The Cleveland School District today launched a formal campaign to get voters to renew a tax levy. Though the campaign has the backing of a broad coalition of civic and business leaders, an anonymous and well-funded group is pushing back, using what the district calls misinformation about the levy and the schools. Today, the district responded.
We've seen, presidential politics, congressional races, even governor's races, but never on this kind of local level of a school levy campaign. So it's, in my mind, it's a cowardly act. I think that if you do want to oppose a school levy, maybe you have your reasons, but just say so and put your name on it. It's very difficult for us to answer this sort of surprise attack when we don't even know who's making it.
The new levy would boost school taxes by about 20%. That's only about $7 more a month for some homeowners, but it could add up to more significantly for large property owners. Thousands of airline workers across the country face furloughs beginning today unless Congress acts on a relief package. Gate agents, flight attendants, pilots, and others could be affected. United plans to lay off 13,000, American 19,000. The industry received some $25 billion back in May to save jobs, but the airlines say that money has now run out. And the downtown's Heinen's location will once again open its doors next Wednesday. The grocery store has been closed since it was damaged in the May 30th riot. The rotunda will not be open, and only 40 customers are allowed in at any one time due to COVID restrictions. And Jay, I don't know if you've been in there yet, but it is quite swanky.
I have, and anybody that comes to Cleveland saying, hey, what do I need to look at downtown? Obviously, we have many beautiful things. I always tell them, go in there because you've never seen anything like it, and you probably never will.
I think the guys who were here from Hamilton a couple of years ago actually wrote on social media how awesome it was.
It is, absolutely. Russ, thanks. Sure. We'll see you at 6 for What Matters Most. Well, up next on What's New, so what are the best items to find on sale in the month of October? We're always looking for a bargain. We're going to answer that question that will save you money, and we're going to tell you about a new Amazon Prime Day.
And it's the end of an era. The Cleveland landmark now closing its doors for good.
And new at 5:30, heartbreak for Tribe fans. Actually, that's not new. That's old. What's new is Jim Donovan is going to be here to break down last night's disappointing loss and what it could mean about Frankie Lindor. Will we ever see him in an Indians uniform again? And Matt, what's coming up in the forecast?
Hi there, Jay. True feeling of fall outside today. We have sunshine, and then it leads to some downpours with some hail and lightning, and then the sun breaks back out. We're about to get wet again, so we're going to make this quick. We'll detail that forecast through the weekend. We've got a little warm-up in store next week as well. We'll talk it all coming up.
Welcome back to What's New. This has been a strange year for shopping. It's been a strange year for everything, hasn't it? Certain things always go on sale during specific months, and most of us can really use a deal right now. So, consumer investigator Danielle Serino is here to tell us what to buy in the month of October and what we should wait on.
It's an October unlike any other.
That's for sure. With Amazon Prime Day launching in October this year instead of July, and other retailers trying to make up for a lousy sales year, shoppers are getting the royal treatment.
It's possible that retailers might try to launch some early holiday deals because they're trying to make a longer holiday shopping season.
It's a given to buy clothing off-season, which means hold off on fall styles right now. Instead, relive the last days of summer for next year. Except for jeans. Retailers are trying to unload what didn't sell during the back-to-school season.
Jeans can be a little pricey.
What kind of percentages have you seen off?
I've seen as much as 40% off.
Oh, wow.
Alan Pfister's wife taught him the art of strategic shopping, and October is when he stocks up on just about anything for outdoors.
Do you need any furniture for your porch? Do you need a new lawnmower? Now is the time to look at that stuff. You may have to store it for a few months, but you can save a lot of money. And I'm talking 25, 30, 40%.
And while it may seem like a trick, October is a treat when it comes to buying Halloween stuff, if you're not scared of waiting until the day of.
In fact, if all the parties get canceled this year, it can be a smart way to stock up for next year on decorations, party supplies, and costumes.
Finally, while experts usually say wait on electronics until Black Friday or Cyber Monday, with the delayed Prime Day,
it's going to be a really good time to shop for anything smart home related, laptops, even some TVs. So consumers might be able to get their electronics fixed a little bit earlier this year.
Just make sure you check the competition before you commit. Prices can fluctuate wildly for the exact same product.
The other thing that I would tell people too, always know where the clearance areas are in stores. There can be some tremendous deals there, and it's worth it to look at them.
Now, if you can get away next month or in October of 2021, now is the time to travel because it's considered the off season and there are loads of deals. I mean, everyone's staying home getting ready for the holidays, right? I'll put more sales information on our website, WKYC.com. I'm Danielle Serino, 3 News.
All right, good info.
It is definitely starting to really feel like fall out there. I mean, like now it's like really feeling like fall. The cool air is here, but this is just the beginning, I have a feeling, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it definitely is, Betsy. We're getting into it now. We mentioned it being in 2 waves this week, and we've already seen wave 1 that really changed things around. But we've got another little cool snap coming in here tonight that'll last for the next 2 days.
Yikes. Hey, Matt, your weather word today is ferocious. Like that Yankees lineup is ferocious.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Jay, it absolutely is. I don't want to get into sports talk here, but it is always scary facing that lineup because anytime they can do what they did last night. But we'll wait another year. That's fine. Well, you know, the weather has been looking ferocious at times today. None of this is severe, but boy, we've had many reports coming into our WKYC app. Real easy to take a picture and send it in, by the way, of some hail today. We've had lightning and thunder, and then the next minute the sun is out. This is a true cold air aloft, fall-time atmosphere outside, and we've still got a pretty active radar. You notice how the radar starts quiet. That was this morning. We had bright sunshine. The clouds bubbled up as expected, and boom, there you go. The popcorn-like look to the nature of the radar here. We're dealing with some downpours now heading through areas of southern Ashtabula and eastern areas of Trumbull County. Those are outbound now. Pretty good rain just moved through Akron. That's now heading into areas near Mogador, Brimfield Township, over towards Rootstown eventually, and then down into Canton. You're about to get another heavy downpour here in the next 5 or 10 minutes. And look at this formidable line of some showers, even some thunderstorms. Decent downpours just offshore right now, getting ready to move into Avon Lake. This will move into perhaps downtown Cleveland, but especially the east side. Euclid up towards Menor, Painesville, Perry, areas along I-90, even Willoughby Hills. They think in the next half hour or so, a pretty decent downpour there. That stretches back into areas of Erie and Huron County, with Norwalk getting some rain here shortly. All of this is due to cold air aloft. It is moving right overhead, and it's actually going to sink in here tonight and tomorrow. When you put that cold air aloft, not just over our warmer lake waters, which are running in the 60s, but our warming land, And as that sun goes to work on it, it really helps to bubble up these clouds. And look at the radar as a result. Numerous showers, even some rumbles of thunder with small hail out there. This will mainly die out after midnight tonight once we really lose that heating of the day, and then it'll fire up again tomorrow. Temperatures drop quickly. You get some wind gusts with this. When that rain moves in, when it moves out, the sun heats us back up. So pretty hodgepodge in terms of temperatures. But look at the cool air off towards the north. That's where air mass is coming from. So even cooler day tomorrow as these 50s really set up shop. National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Not too ferocious of a look to a radar tonight as everything kind of dies out. You can see tomorrow morning we have a big change in the atmosphere in terms of, I think we're going to go more lake effect rain tomorrow. The rest of us should start to clear out as we bring some drier air in here, and that will be the trend on our Saturday as well. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. 50s and dry Saturday, and then Sunday we bring in more rain at night. That'll linger to Monday morning, and a very changeable atmosphere here over the next week with rain, some sun, and more rain in the forecast all the way through the end of next week.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. Definitely pumpkin picking kind of weather out there, so we got to get our jackets ready. Thanks, Matt. Well, there are no fans allowed, as everybody knows, but we're going to show you the nationally televised moment that two people snuck into last night's Indians game.
That was so bizarre,
right?
Watching that unfold.
Oh, this is bizarre.
This is bizarre, too. It's a police officer versus a skunk in need. Can he avoid a smelly situation? I'll tell you this, Betsy, he's got a lot more guts than I do. No, I'm not getting anywhere near that thing.
Mic check. After 37 years, another iconic restaurant is closed.
Well, it's time now to see what's clicking in Cleveland. And for that, of course, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Hi, Stephanie. Happy Thursday to you.
Hi, Betsy. Happy Thursday to you. We've got to start out with a bummer today. After 37 years, another Northeast Ohio iconic restaurant is closing for good because of the pandemic. The owners of the 100th Bomb Group thanked everyone for their support today and said with the declining demand for dining and special events, they have to sell the property at an auction. With its views of the Cleveland Hopkins Airport runways and wall-to-wall World War II memorabilia, this place will definitely be missed, but good news for people with scheduled events, they will be honored through the end of the year. Now it looks like these two Tribe fans just could not stand to stay outside of Progressive Field last night. ESPN cameras caught two guys handcuffed and getting tossed while Josh Naylor was at bat in the bottom of the fifth. Nope, it's not the guys outside the fence with the drum, it's the two guys on the other side. The Tribe said the two men hopped the gate and were caught right away and were immediately removed and arrested for trespassing. Now fans are supposed to be allowed back in next season, guys. Patience. Patience. For people who have been patiently awaiting fall, it is here, and we have beautiful photos from you to prove it. Tracy Dawn Brewer sent us this pretty bright photo of the leaves changing at the Sanctuary Golf Course in North Canton. Here's what the treetops look like right now in Akron. This is courtesy of Lauren Maddox. And okay, look at this. This is Laura Fifick's porch in Strongsville. What an absolutely gorgeous design. Now, we love to show off Northeast Ohio through your eyes, so keep sending us those photos and videos through the WKYC app. Betsy, this is my favorite season to get outside. After looking at those photos, it's all I can think about. It's just so beautiful this time of year.
I have tried so hard to do those perfect porch setups that you see on Pinterest, just like the one we just saw. Mine ends up looking like bare shelving at a store. It's like one thing here and one thing here. It's like I'm too cheap to go plush, so it doesn't really look full and put together. So I'll throw a bow on it and maybe it'll look better.
Hey, I know you do those beautiful wreaths. Those are great. We'll have to call up Laura and we'll have to get some tips from her because that display was perfect.
Yeah, she could probably show me a thing or two, that's for sure. All right, thanks so much, Stephanie.
All right, here it is, our worth the watch. It's a tricky situation, happened in Massachusetts. A skunk there got its head stuck in some kind of a container. And this brave police officer keeps trying to free the little guy. And it's a careful parking lot tango until finally the officer's going to get the container off, and watch what happens. They both run in opposite directions.
Oh my goodness.
That could have ended so badly for the officer. Luckily, no nasty spray, so we'll call it a win-win.
Oh.
Man, Betsy, that's guts right there because...
That's not a small skunk.
No, it's not.
That's a big one.
And I wonder if, so oftentimes animals know they're in danger and they know that somebody's not trying to hurt them, they're trying to help them. Right. I wonder if that was one of those situations where he's like, man, I'm going to be good because I need this container off my head and this guy might be able to do it.
You could tell the skunk's ears were covered by whatever that container was, and that cop was very lightly treading.
I hope he got hazard pay for that. That could have ended poorly. Okay, coming up, Tribe fans have to be feeling a little bit like Bill Murray in the movie Groundhog Day. You remember that? Just keeps waking up and reliving the same day over and over again. Another season, another sweep to end it for the Tribe. Jim Donovan's going to join us, and we're going to talk about whether or not this could have been Frankie Lindor's last game as a Cleveland Indian.
Plus, it's actually a really difficult conversation for a lot of people to have. But John Legend and Chrissy Teigen are opening up the conversation about miscarriage, and it's helping a lot of people.
Also later, the local restaurant famous for creating second chances gets bigger. This is a great story where you can find Edwin's newest location. And if you don't know, we're going to tell you what makes this project so special. Stay with us. What's new? Coming right back.
Now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
It most certainly is. It's exactly 5:30. Welcome back to What's New. I hope you're doing as well as you can on this dreary Thursday. I think the weather fits the mood.
The sun is shining through the windows.
When I last was outside, I was driving to work. It was pouring down rain.
Sky cam right now. That is the CSU cam.
I see more clouds than sun. That's dreary for me.
Do you see that very, very bright part of the screen there?
Yep, that's too small. All the other part
sun.
is dreary. You see what you want. It's dreary for me.
We also get a view of crepuscular rays, one of the most fantastic
What is that?
atmospheric phenomena.
Explain.
That's the sun rays coming through the clouds.
What are they called?
Crepuscular rays.
Ooh.
Want me to spell it for you?
I'm going to have to remember that. It's always a rough day for me when the season ends, the Indian season. I'm a big baseball guy. And last night, the way it ended, oh my goodness. It's going to take a little while to get over that, but I will. I'm Jay Crawford, along with Betsy Kling. And we're going to just dive even more into this misery right now.
I know, right? Hold your noses. Here we go. We're just going to go right in. I almost had to take a melatonin last night to try and relax because that game had me so on edge so late. But, of course, that is our top talker, and it's everybody's top talker. It was heartbreaking for the Tribe last night. They were swept by the Yankees over at Progressive Field.
Jim Donovan is here now. Jimmy, the Indians had the best starting pitcher in all of baseball this year. They had the best closer in the game this year, and the Yankees beat both of them around Progressive Field, and we may have seen Frankie Lindor in an Indians uniform for the final time. Other than that, I'm just great today.
And tired, I'll tell you, and
Exhausted.
tired. I'm with Betsy on that. You needed a nap today. 1:15 this morning. That's when the Indian season came to an end in a grinding game two, back and forth against the New York Yankees. Jay, you hit it right on the head. The calling card for the Indians going into this series was, we have better pitching than the New York Yankees, but the Indians did not pitch well in either game. Bieber rocked in game number one, and then last night and early this morning in game number two, Indians pitching gave up 12 walks alone in the game last night. And Brad Hand, who hadn't blown a save all year long, blew the save in the ninth inning, with the Indians going into the inning with a 9-8 lead after they had rallied back 3 different times to retake the lead. Francisco Lindor, though, is on everybody's mind today because the season is over, and contractually on paper, he only has 1 more year left on his contract. And the Indians and Lindor are miles apart on getting a long-term deal done because he wants a ton of money, and I just don't think they want to pay that money to one specific player. So, last night could have been his last game in an Indians uniform. He talked about that today.
But if I say it hasn't crossed my mind, I'll lie, because on social media, everybody, that's all they talk about. And that's what you have been talking about for the past year. So, yeah, it has crossed my mind, but I haven't really thought about it deeply enough to say, wow, this could actually be my last game.
Now, baseball logic would say this. He's going into the last year of his contract. He would become a free agent after next season. If he's not going to sign a long-term deal with you, you got to get something back in return, so you trade him away. But, Betsy, here's the deal right now with Lindor. He said today he thinks the Indians can pay him what he wants. They're a billion-dollar business. But you know what? After this economic year, not only for the Indians, but for everybody in baseball, I don't know if there are big deals out there for Francisco Lindor or anyone else who's looking for hundreds of millions of dollars because of the losses these owners have taken this year, with no promise that baseball is going to go back to normalcy next year. So logic would tell you this winter the trade market will heat up, and it seems as though the arrow points that might have been his last game in an Indians uniform last night and this morning.
Well, he's just one part of a very complicated puzzle, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of puzzle pieces switching and swapping around. So certainly plenty to watch on this. Thanks so much, Jimmy, for getting us through all of it.
Well,
all right, Betsy.
Despite that tough loss last night, we know that the Cleveland Indians have terrific fans. And because we've been celebrating a few Ultimate Tribe fans this week, we want to introduce you to 2 young men who have connected over their love of the sport, particularly the Indians, and their dedication to making a difference in the Latino community here in Northeast Ohio.
Jose, what's up, man? It's been a while. How's everything going?
Jose Colon and Anthony Alto are friends who haven't seen each other in a while.
Good, man, good. Living the dream, brother.
They first met through the Young Latino Network, and both have gone on to serve the Latino community and the Cleveland community at large. Jose, a native of Puerto Rico, is a financial service manager for Cleveland Neighborhood Progress.
I provide education on finances, teach financial empowerment.
Anthony is a law student who also works at the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections.
We try our hardest to ensure that the voters are educated and understand what they need to do and ensure that everybody has fair and equitable access to the ballot.
And they have a few other things in common, including a love for Cleveland Indians baseball.
I love the sport. Then I moved here in 2011. I actually did my minor in Cleveland State in sports management, and it led me to a internship with the Cleveland Indians.
You know, I've been an Indians fan my whole life. I became a season ticket holder in 2016, which was a great time to become a season ticket holder. My wife bought them for me for my birthday, and we've been going to games ever since.
Although our playoff run is over for now, fans like these never give up hope, and we wanted to give something back to them. So, here's what we got for you guys. Brilliant, sharp Indians caps.
Oh, nice.
I also have a couple of envelopes here. Tickets to a game in 2021 when we hope fans will be back in the stands. And one of the two of you will end up with this beauty of a bat signed by Carlos Santana. And the one that doesn't want that will get this signed Franmil Reyes jersey.
Wow.
With his signature right here on the bottom of the two. So there you go. Anthony and Jose, thank you very much for your love of the tribe, and also, and more importantly, here in our area, you're making it a better place to live, and that's what it's all about. Guys, thank you very much, and go Tribe.
Go Tribe.
Boy, did you ask them trivia questions to see who gets what?
You know what? Here's how they decided. Anthony's favorite player was Franmil Reyes, and his wife's favorite player was Carlos Santana, and he said, I'm going to let you pick, so I'm not going to be the bad guy.
Right.
So that way, he didn't have to tell his wife the bad news.
All's fair. All right. Well, we are going to move on because we're talking about grocery shopping, and that has completely changed in this whole pandemic, too. But Walmart recently announced that they are upping the ante in the retail war with Amazon with their Walmart Plus service. But how does it compare to Amazon's two grocery services? They have Amazon Fresh and Whole Foods. Well, Walmart Plus is $98 a year. Amazon Prime is $119 per year, which gives you access to Amazon's Fresh and Whole Foods deliveries. NBC put all three of them to the test with one grocery list. All three deliveries arrived on time and without damage. But in the Walmart delivery, a third of the things they ordered had been substituted, including a different ice cream flavor, chuck roast instead of ribeye, and a pack of 20 hot dogs instead of 6. Thanks, I think. The cost, well, when shopping the same list, Walmart came in the cheapest, followed by Amazon Fresh, and then Whole Foods is the most expensive. Of course, you do have to factor in a tip for the delivery as well.
Next on What's New, Prince Harry says one part of his marriage to Meghan Markle has been eye-opening. Find out what he's saying next in Pop Break.
And everybody's keeping an eye on that forecast. Matt, what's going on outside?
Hi, Betsy. We've had small hail, thunder, and lightning across the area today, and then that sun comes right back out. What a crazy fall-time pattern, right? It's actually very typical around here. We'll detail how long this lasts. We'll also talk about some warmer numbers in the forecast. All that ahead after this.
And here's a little fun for you before the break. I feel like I should say this in some kind of a whoa voice. Halloween will be extra spooky this year. We'll have a blue moon on Halloween night. Now, keep in mind, it's not turning blue. The blue moon is the second full moon of the month. And speaking of Halloween, you can head to our app or WKYC.com/Halloween. We have the list of trick-or-treat times, cancellations. We'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, everything's fine now. Did you leave your finger on a button or something? Left again. Is that good, Frank? Okay.
Well, our colleague Matt Standridge is in Lakewood keeping an eye on the line of storms as they're moving in. You can see his Twitter feed, Standridge WX. I just retweeted it on my thing too. So Standridge WX is Matt's Twitter feed. Mine is Betsy Kling, and I just retweeted his pictures. Incredible, these storms that are coming in off the lake, Matt.
Yeah, they've got a little punch to them, absolutely. And boy, what a picturesque sky we've had across the area today with these growing cumulonimbus clouds. You have the clear skies that really illuminate it, and the dark skies underneath the base of these. Really a fall-like sky around here. We'll get to that line of storms in a second. I just pulled up, I love to look at numbers, so a couple things I want to throw your way. You guys remember last year? 2020 keeps on giving us great things, doesn't it? It was 93 degrees last year today. It was the warmest October temperature in Cleveland history, and you can see today we checked in at 63, so a little bit different this year than what we were dealing with last year this time. And as always, I usually do this on Sunday nights, but I want to get to know October real quickly in terms of where our temperatures and everything goes the rest of the month. So we start today at 68 degrees as our average high temperature. By the end of the month, our average high is down to 57. In terms of lows, we're talking an average low tonight of around 50. By the end of the month, we're talking average lows in the 40s. You know that. It gets chilly around Halloween, right? In terms of sunrise and sunset times, our sunrise this morning was at 7:24. By the end of the month, our sunrise is near 8 o'clock, and our sunset will, unfortunately go below that 7 o'clock hour. It'll be around 6:22 the last day of October. And finally, precipitation. We don't average any snow, but we have had some snow in October. Even last year, we had some flakes in the snow belt, but we do average 3.1 inches of rain. It is our fourth driest month, so we tend to get sprawling areas of high pressure and dry weather. But look at that line of storms coming out over the lake now. It's actually being infected by an outflow boundary from earlier storms, so we're seeing it really ramp up now. That is going to move on shore just east of Cleveland near Euclid, Lake County. Buckle up for some of that. And then out towards Norwalk and areas of northern Richland County, we've got a decent line of storms getting ready to move on in. All this being driven by cold air aloft over our warmer lake waters and over the warming land. As that sun continues to heat, it just pops the instability through the roof, especially with that cold air aloft. So we see a almost checkerboard-like look to the radar on afternoons like this. This will continue to kind of fizzle out after we lose that daytime heating. And you can see that in your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast, mainly lake effect showers tonight. Tomorrow, I think much drier inland, but we're still dealing with lake effect rain close to the lakeshore. All that wraps up Friday night into Saturday morning. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecasts will slowly warm things up, but we've got 2 chilly days in front of us. Next week, some scattered showers Sunday night into Monday, and then more Wednesday into Thursday. Jay, I don't know if you can see, I've got bright sunshine here on this dreary day coming in, but you know, that cloud just hanging over your head there at the studio.
You know what, Matt? There's always sunshine in your room. No matter where you are, I don't care if you have no windows, there's sunshine in your room. You're just that kind of guy. Matt, thank you very much.
Sweet.
Thank you very much. Well, it is time for our Thursday edition of your Pop Break. Sarah Shookman starts it out with Heartbreak for a Hollywood couple.
Chrissy Teigen and John Legend are in mourning today after losing their third child following weeks of pregnancy complications. Chrissy shared the news on social media in a heartbreaking post, releasing photos from the experience and writing a caption to their baby boy, Jack, apologizing for being unable to save him despite their best efforts. Chrissy thanked the millions of people who have reached out to offer their condolences and ended her post writing, quote, "Every day can't be full of sunshine. On this darkest of days, we will grieve, we will cry our eyes out, we will hug and love each other harder and get through it. Our thoughts are certainly with the family during this time." Prince Harry says he has experienced an awakening to social justice issues and inequality in the world since marrying his wife Meghan Markle. The Duke of Sussex recently said that through his relationship with his biracial wife, his views on the world have changed immensely. Harry said he now notices subtle issues, such as stores only offering white dolls. And instead of placing blame, he says people should focus on fixing the issues at hand. And we have good news for fans of AC/DC. The band is looking to make a comeback very soon, teasing a reunion on their Instagram account. AC/DC first posted a picture yesterday with the caption, "Are you ready? #PowerUp." Today, they shared another teaser, posting video of a neon lightning bolt, which is getting fans amped up already. Perhaps we may soon see the boys back in black.
Now, I like AC/DC as much as the next guy. They've got some classic rock anthems. But Bets, they're almost 70. Some of them may be over 70. I don't know how that's going to play.
Hey, Mariah Carey sang at Rockin' New Year's Eve or whatever, right? And the only reason people really knew what was going on is because it messed up. So maybe.
So you're saying that they might not actually be singing, that they might just be
I think they're going to
lip-syncing?
play, but the singing track, you never know. I mean,
I don't even know if I want to see them jump around on the stage. Close your eyes and envision that. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know they're energetic. It might be worth the watch.
That's it.
Still ahead on what's new, fine dining expansion. The cool East Side restaurant getting bigger just in time for the end of patio season.
Ah, yes. But guess what? There it is. I have just moved it from my desk where it's been happily sitting for the last week. It is Thursday. That means it is Throwdown Thursday. We are talking fall. Hopefully it won't fall off of my
I hope
desk.
not. Enjoy it.
To do that. Oh my goodness, here it is. It's Thursday and it's time for Throwdown Thursday. And we're doing fall trivia, which should be very interesting. It is October, the cooler weather is here, so everybody's thinking about the new season.
That's a beautiful picture behind you, by the way.
It is.
So to keep us in line, if anybody can do that, Matt Winston's back with us. And Matt, this job might be harder than the one Chris Wallace had Tuesday night at the debate. Do your best. I'm sure it's going to be better than what we saw on Tuesday.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, with the delay between me working at home, you guys in the studio, I'm sure that'll make it equally as entertaining for our audience out there. All right, let's get to it, guys. You know, Betsy, she's been holding on to that thing, and I know she knows Halloween better than anyone, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, so question number 1, in what country did Halloween originate? Is it A, Mexico, B, France, or C, Ireland?
I was going to say Transylvania.
It is Ireland. I know that.
Nice, Jay. Absolutely. Yeah, good one, Betsy. Now, listen, you're going to have to get some of these right. You can't make all these puns. So it was Ireland. Halloween originates from a Celtic festival celebrating the new year on November 1st. Traditions were to light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. So kind of fascinating.
I didn't know
with
that.
All right, question number 2.
Started in Ireland. Okay.
That's okay. That's all you need. All right, true or false? Leaves always have those autumn colors in them.
True.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's true. Yeah.
That's no fair.
You just can't see it because of something called
We did an entire
chlorophyll.
week about NFL football.
That's true. We did. Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, 1-1.
Throw your girl a bone. Jeez.
You're right. You're right. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, you can't see it because of the chlorophyll, guys. All right, I can't tell when you're going to wrap things up there, so you just let me know. Just say go. All right, here we go. Question number 3: is a pumpkin a fruit or a vegetable?
This is a trick one. Everybody wants to say vegetable, but it's actually a fruit. It has seeds.
It is seed berry, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, very good, Jay.
Okay.
Fruit, it's actually a squash, and squash is a fruit, so there you go. All
right, we have 1 minute,
All right,
2
number
questions
4,
to go.
We've got a minute left. What was the original name for the fall season? Was it A, autumn, B, harvest, or C, fall?
The original name?
Autumn.
No, that's not right.
Yeah.
Jay, is it harvest or fall?
I would go with harvest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely harvest.
Well, this last one's just
That's
for fun.
because the harvest moon that happens to close is on the autumnal equinox. How about that? All right, last one. Here we go. Which language does the word autumn come from? Is it A, Latin, B, Greek, or C, Chinese? The word autumn.
Everything comes from Latin.
Ooh, Jay, you're right on that. Fantastic. What was the final score? No one's keeping track in this room.
Nobody's keeping track.
4-1.
It's off the rails.
Yeah, 4-1. Not that I'm
Take the
counting.
lamp.
Not that I'm counting.
I have too much work on my desk anyway. You have lots of space on your desk.
I do. Not anymore. This beauty's going to be right on my desk until next Thursday. Matt, thank you. Those were good questions. I thought they were great questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like
Very
those.
good.
I had nothing to do with them. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for helping us, Matt. We'll be right back. Well, tonight our show is something good is good news for Shaker Square. Edwin's is opening a second location in late November called Edwin's 2. And it's right across the street from the existing restaurant. Edwin's is the fancy French restaurant that's a training academy in culinary and hospitality careers for formerly incarcerated adults. The new location, which will be in the former fire restaurant space, will go a little more upscale. And it's going to have 3, 5, and 7-course meals. It's aimed at meeting the demand for academy students and folks eager to dine out in different ways. Love that restaurant.
It's one of the neatest things going on in Cleveland. I wish we had programs like it everywhere. Thanks for watching What's New. We're back tomorrow at 5. We invite you to join us.
It's going to be Friday at that, too.